everyone. Hey there. Here we are. It's time for Soil, Soul, and Spirit. And we're going to go live. And what I'm going to do, hey there, everyone. We're going to go live here. And I just want to let folks know right off the bat who are on Instagram, if you're tuning in to us here. Technology is a wild thing. It's a wild thing. We all know that. So I want you all to jump on YouTube to join Mariah and I this evening. We're going to cut the stream here at Instagram, and we're going to ask you to join us over on YouTube because you'll have the benefit of seeing us side by side. We don't control the technology. We just try to learn it. So we're so happy to have you here tonight with us. My name is Angel. If you're new to the channel, Angel Shannon, founder and executive director of Siva Health and the Siva Institute, where we put mindfulness and compassion in action to help you live longer and live better. I welcome you tonight and I extend invitation for you to just sit back, relax, and enjoy my co-host and I, Mariah Palmer, talking tonight about soil, soul, and spirit. And Mariah, are we celebrating spring equinox or are we? Yes, yes, yes. Happy about them. So, folks, if you're joining us on Instagram, I'm going to cut the feed. I'm going to just ask you to come on over to YouTube where you'll get the benefit of seeing us side by side. It's youtube.com/@ Siva Health Group. S like Sam, E like Edward, V like Victor, A like Apple, Health Group. Okay. So I'm going to cut the feed over on Instagram. And Mariah, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, fantastic. Okay, let's see where we are. So, Mariah, let's just talk for a minute about spring equinox. This is a special day for you, right? Yes, it is. Oh, oh, okay. Mhm. Oh, wow. Celebrating a lot of things. Yep, yep. So, what is spring equinox or equinox? Some people say equinox, equinox. What does it mean technically, like in the world of like plants and nature and all that kind of thing? You want to take us into that conversation? Yes. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I absolutely do not know. So I'm not going to say that I do, but I'm like you. I felt like I could feel the movement towards spring. Let me say that. I could feel the movement towards spring. And I really, really, um, it felt so authentic to me. Uh-oh, sorry about that. Yep, I just wanted to silence that. I could feel yeah, there we go. Cannot see your co-host. Uh-oh, someone's saying they cannot see. Hold on, Mariah. Can you see Mariah? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, hold on, folks. Let's see. Because we're able to see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mariah. I, yeah, layout. Okay. Split screen. How are we now? Let's see. We're on YouTube. I'm hoping. Uh-oh. Okay. Yep. Another person saying that they cannot see you, and we do not want that. We absolutely do not want that. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Yep. Hold on, folks. I am so glad we saw the chat because that is not good. We definitely want Mariah in here. So sorry, guys, ladies. Mariah's going to jump back in. Boy, they. So, folks, give us just a minute. We're going to see if Mariah can get
All right. Can
her
you hear me?
going. I can hear you. I'm going to ask our guests
If
if
they
they
can.
can see you now.
Okay.
Okay, Mariah has jumped back on. Guests,
Mm-hmm.
you're here. Can you let us know if you're able to see her now?
Mm,
Okay, let's see. Are you able to see both
okay. What I'll try to do.
speakers? And I'm going to try to get on my YouTube channel as well because I don't want to frustrate our viewers.
Of
Let's
course not. I
Okay,
did
I
turn my
can
Wi-Fi off.
see. Yes, we see her. There we go. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Once
you.
again, once again, everyone, just to reiterate, technology is a great thing,
Yeah,
but I've got plenty to learn.
I've got so much to learn. And
So
I'm
sorry
telling you
about that.
what, I am so grateful because this teaches us such a valuable lesson to just hang in there, right? To never
Hang
ever
in
give
there.
up, to hang in there
Even when you
and
feel
keep
like
moving
there
forward.
is no solution, there is
Mhm.
always another solution.
There
And I
is
know we're speaking about that pertaining to the video here, but in general, in
in
life,
general. In
there's
general.
several options. So
Yep.
don't give up.
Always. So we're
Um,
going to start over fresh.
yes.
We're going to take our deep breath
mm,
and we're going to start over.
I think I feel so called for us to start this every time,
Yeah,
just like that.
just like that. Just
So
like that. We're going to
let's do
start
that from
over.
now
Yes.
on.
We're going to do that
It's
from now
crazy
on.
what a really deep breath will do.
It's so,
Um,
you are so right. You are so
that was
right.
great.
So, thank you first and
But
foremost to our guests for being here tonight and for being patient with us and with technology. And we hope that you take that cleansing breath as well, because we
mhm,
don't want to project that nervous Nelly energy off to you. We want to do our very best to embody the spirit that we talk about, soil, soul, and spirit. We want to
yes,
embody the teachings that we're sharing with you. So thank you for your
absolutely.
patience. And so what I was saying
Yes.
to Mariah is asking Mariah to share what spring equinox is all about. And Mariah, if you're going to say that once again, I'm going to add just a little bit about it as well. So
Sure.
for you.
So, of course, we're all aware we are on a beautiful planet called Earth. And what happens during the equinox, essentially the angle or the positioning that we are rotating on in proximity to the sun, it transitions to us having longer daylight.
Mhm.
And we are essentially right now on a not a 45-degree angle, but almost. And that is what makes our days warmer. It's what increases, right, wave and water movement
Mhm.
throughout the globe and affects what we experience here. So, for example, in Baltimore, Maryland, it is now spring. In New Zealand, my friend is experiencing winter.
Yes.
So it's all about the orientation that the Earth's axis and the equator, everything is sitting on.
Mhm.
And that changes this is why we have 4 seasons, is that positioning of the planet and its proximity to the sun.
Exactly. And it's this point where the amount of day and the amount of night are exactly the same, right? The timing of that, the length of day and the
Mm-hmm.
length of at this particular point. And for me, when I think about spring equinox, just as I think about fall equinox, there's spring equinox, fall equinox, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
summer solstice and winter solstice, right?
Yeah.
We are making our journey back toward the sun, right? So we're coming, the
Mm.
earth is getting closer and closer to the sun, at which point, when we get to our closest distance for human survival, let's just say we get only so close.
Yes.
At that point, it's going to be summer solstice, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
winter solstice is the exact opposite, which is our furthest point away from the sun, which is why
Mm-hmm.
that dark, that extended period of darkness happens. And when I think about that equality, that
Mm.
equal time of day and night, and finding that place of equality, of harmony, of balance,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is such an auspicious time of the year for us to then think about our own inner balance, right? Like, where do I mirror the earth's
Mm.
balance? And also, when it comes to spring equinox, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, this is spring, it's abundance, it's time for growing. But Mariah, I wonder if you can speak to, is this really time for growing, or is it something else? What do you think?
I think rather it is the time for planting.
Yes.
Very intentional seeds, both physically, whether it's broccoli or peppers or extra fertilizing your plants, or whether it's internal and really setting the course for, yes, we've celebrated the new year, but I almost count the spring equinox as my new year.
Yes.
Um, but this very intentional planting. So, yes, there will be growth, right? Every day, continuously, we're all focused on growth, but it is not the prime goal. It's to plant seeds and fertilize them and love them as much as you can.
Yeah. I love that. And when I'm thinking about this time of year, in addition to my planting, there's a step I think of before that. I think of
Mm.
like clearing the space, right?
Spring cleaning.
Spring
Mm-hmm.
cleaning. And I think about like throughout the winter, like,
Mm-hmm.
energetically, winter is a period of holding on. Our bodies are holding on. We're holding on to fat, we're holding on to sugars, we're holding on
Mm-hmm.
to all of that because our bodies need that energy to be able to make it through the long, cold winter season, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
we're not getting as much light. So we're eating heavier foods that give us, so potatoes and heavier
Yes.
meats and starches and things like this. Now, as we move into spring, it's sort of like, okay, what can I slowly start to take away? Whether it's spring cleaning in my home,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning in my body. Do I need a detox?
Mm.
Do I need a cleaning before I, enter into a season of lighter foods or different foods? So I'm not eating
Yes.
the same things that I'm eating during the winter months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also thinking about this, you know, out in nature with our plants, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, I did my
Mm-hmm.
fall cleanup, but I still have some I have some cleaning to do out there in my garden before I plant
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because weeds have come up.
Oh,
Weeds have
yes.
come up, we didn't get, the snow that we did get caused weeds to grow. So I got to de-weed. I got to
Yeah.
turn that soil.
Create space
Yes.
for all that the season will bring.
Yeah. What
I
do you say to
completely
that
agree.
from a spiritual standpoint about creating space?
You have to intentionally, I agree, create space prior to you even planting seeds. Let me get rid of what no longer serves me
Yes.
to make space for all of the fruitfulness that is to come and that these upcoming seasons bring. And I like how you spoke too about kind of this transition, even dietarily, like from what we eat.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't, I'll be honest. So I fasted today just until I got home this evening. So just till about 6 p.m. And I didn't fast because I woke up and said, oh, it's the spring equinox. Although I did, I didn't realize the correlation until we're speaking right now. I
Wow.
woke up and decided my body, I needed to. So today I simply had water and tea.
Hmm.
And that's what I felt I needed this morning. And
Hmm.
I didn't realize how aligned it
Look at
actually
that.
is. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, intuition is strong, right? So it's important to follow that and maybe not always know the why in the moment. But now here I am 12 hours later, and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy that I did that
Hmm.
because I just needed to give my digestive system just a few hours
Yep.
to really get rid of the past.
Exactly.
And now I can walk into newness. And I think that's what spring is all about.
Hmm.
It's just the blooming and the newness that comes with.
I love that you shared that. I do
It's just so
because,
funny. I did not realize.
right. And you know what's funny? This week, I did all veggie for the whole week. Now, I'm not a vegetarian, but I just did plant-based protein and meat protein
Wow.
and no starch or anything. And I can already feel the difference. Like, I don't feel that winter heaviness. I don't feel that, like needing to sit up for an hour or two before, going to bed and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. And so, like you said, it's, in terms of internal preparation, our digestive
Yeah.
systems, and just our practices and habits. This is the
Mm-hmm.
wonderful time of the year. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do cleanses, if you're into seasonal
Mm-hmm.
cleanses, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to tell you fall equinox and spring equinox are wonderful times energetically to do that. Spring equinox is perhaps probably of the two my favorite time to do internal cleansing, and not even just the diet, but also
Mm-hmm.
our heart cleansing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for this episode, I had posted some journal prompts about things
Yes.
that relate to abundance, because the season of abundance really is summer, right? So spring is
Yes.
the season of planting the
Mm-hmm.
seeds, the intentions, our desires. But summer is really the harvest. Yeah, not
Mm-hmm.
but the abundance season. We see everything growing. I was talking with a friend of mine today she's a friend of mine, but she's my friend's mom. So she's still a friend of
Okay.
mine.
Yes.
And she's so excited about planting, getting her garden going.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's getting her seeds and she's getting her soil and all these things. And I was explaining to her that some of the tomatoes are going to be like, going to take 60 days. Some will
Mm-hmm.
be 90 days, things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just imagining, like, as I was getting ready for this, I was just imagining like her tomatoes 90 days from now, and then she's going to
Uh-huh.
get these varieties, and how happy, I know she's going to be when she sees this abundance. And
Yes.
so I think that spring is a wonderful time to start thinking about where we want abundance in our,
Mm. And drawing energy to that.
yeah.
Um, all of this movement is so, so good. I recently, too, just in the past week, just a week ago, I started running again.
Oh,
I care to increase my endurance, see more of the world and like city around me,
mhm.
and just spend more time in nature. So I ran at Druid and I'll be running 2 more times this week. But there's a lot of, yes, movement that I think spring evokes and brings about.
Mhm.
But I was saying to Angel prior to this, it's very important to see this as a time of transition and to not forget all of the things that we
Yes.
did learn in winter, and carry those things into these months where things will start to picken up and then go into the summer. There will
Mhm.
be more activities, there will be more
Mhm.
people outside in general. There's more sun, there's more
Mhm.
growth. You may want
Mhm.
to eat more. You may, but just don't forget to still take those intentional times to pause,
Mhm.
meditate.
Mhm.
Please don't forget still your quality of sleep and rest and the
Oh my
duration of
goodness,
that
yes, yes.
can't just be for the winter months when the sun is setting at 4 p.m. rather
Mhm.
than now 7:30, right? We've incrementally gotten up to this, but we can't lose the importance and quality of those things that winter brings. So just being sure to bring those tools into spring because they're still very necessary. And I'm saying
Absolutely.
that for myself too. I'm reminding
Mhm.
myself of that.
Mhm. Mariah, first of all the wins, like put this in your win jar. I'm so happy for you about running and the movement and whatnot. Like everything that we add, every new habit, every positive thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's a seed, right? It's a seed. There's no
Yep.
saying that you need to be running a marathon. There's no saying that
Just
you
the
need the
goal.
perfect shoes.
Yep.
There's no say it's just the intention that I want to do this for myself, for
So
whatever
I'm
those
going to do
reasons
it.
are. So I'm
Yep.
going to. If
Yep.
it's for socialization, if it's because I want to
Mm-hmm.
socialize more, or I want to be more present in my community, right? I want to know my
Exactly.
community more. That
Exactly.
is the abundance that I want in my life, right?
Yes.
And abundance is not necessarily more things, it's more
Mm-hmm.
presence, it's more of
Mm.
an awakening to our lives,
An emergence.
emergence, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's what when I think of abundance, I
Absolutely.
don't think of it like I know when there are many different ways to think about abundance, and
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we think of it financially, right? Abundance,
Yes.
money, prosperity, and that's totally legitimate. But I think there are other ways to think about abundance, and
Mm-hmm.
you spoke about the abundance of the time and being present and
Mm-hmm.
walking and running. And I was thinking about abundance the other day in terms of just more open space, the clearing
Mm.
out. To me, having space is
Is
abundant,
what brings, yes, that is
right?
the foundation. That's where abundance exists.
Yeah,
Yes.
like more
Wow, that's
space.
beautiful.
Yeah, more
Mm-hmm.
space to enjoy
Newness.
the newness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
give
my
you,
favorite. I have to say that's my favorite thing about spring.
me too,
The newness.
the
And again,
newness.
did I ever now I have a goal of running a half marathon, but I can't do that until I can run 2 and then I can run 3 and then I can run 4 and taking my
Exactly.
time, but it's this reminder that I've really been sitting with this lately. But you can reinvent yourself or learn new things that bring you joy every single day. You don't have to stick to meditation, coloring, and yoga are great things, but
Mhm.
I'm thinking even surpassing that.
Yes.
What does it feel like to fly? And I feel like, other than a plane, running is this beautiful, just using our amazingly orchestrated bodies to really travel. And
Yeah.
I care to see things. So um, it's very cool, all the movement.
You just said something that I'm feeling. You said it's beautiful to learn new things.
Hmm. Reinvent yourself.
Learning, reinventing ourselves and learning new things. One of my mentors said that to me early
Mm.
on in my career. And he was a physician who went back to
Okay.
school to get his MBA. And then he went
Hmm.
back to school for something related to like arts and literature. And I
Hmm.
said to him then, I was much younger. And I said to him, I said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? And he said,
Hmm.
Angel, you don't think of what you're learning as to do something with as much as it is
Mm,
of an experience, how it enhances you, how it's you're creating this
your life.
recipe for a beautiful life, right? And he was
Wow.
saying to me in my career, he said, Angel,
Mm,
make sure you are always learning new things. Don't get into the habit of learning
hmm.
the same things over and over and over. So what he was saying
Yes.
to me is like he has seen people have their undergraduate degree in one thing and then their graduate
Hmm.
degree in the same thing and then their PhD in the same thing and they're pursuing the same thing. And there's no
Rather than diversifying, that's great.
right,
But you
right.
could find different angles to diversify your education
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
general.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
It's so important for
yeah.
sure.
But to the spring renewal, let's talk about, do you have any particular plants or herbs
Hmm.
or essential oils or things that you
Mm.
use at this time of the year that align with spring equinox, renewal, balance, harmony? I know you are very, very much a natural woman. So share with us what goes into your springtide fare, so to speak.
Yes. So I absolutely adore my favorite color is green, but I love like oranges and yellows and golden hues during this time. So I find myself trying to not even super intentionally, but dressing in those colors, kind of embodying the sun as much as possible. During this time, I also really enjoy citrus scents or very like
Mm.
bright or heightening, not only like candles, but oils. There's a lovely oil that I have that is citrus based, and I put it on my wrist and around my like neck in the morning during these warmer months. Over the past like 2 weeks or so, I've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Really just like brightening
Mm-hmm.
my entire like aura
Mm-hmm.
that I'm
Mm-hmm.
traveling
Yeah.
with during the day. I see it kind of as a companion.
Mm-hmm.
So when I forget, I'm like, okay, I'm bright. We're here.
Yeah.
Um,
I love the citruses.
yeah. Like,
I love
whereas,
this.
right, the winter months, I find I'm naturally more attracted to the warm, the
Mhm,
sweet, the now I'm no, I want something uh, a little acidic, I
mhm,
guess, if you
mhm.
will.
Right.
Um, but amongst many different habits, again, movement, really emphasizing that it's so nice. It's so easy to just be able to go for a walk in 70
Mhm,
degrees
mhm,
than it is in 40 degrees. So really just paying attention intuitively to my body and what I find myself drawn towards.
mhm.
Um, and when it comes to the plants, they're definitely, I'm looking around because
You have
I'm
so
facing a
many.
lot of them. Yes. And maybe every time when I'm on here, you all, I will change my camera position so you can see the different ones over time.
Mhm.
But they're definitely noticing it. The humidity level is up. This is great. This
Yeah.
is a time for really preparing to, yes, for this abundant season to come. Not
Mhm.
that this is abundant as well, but
Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
resonate
very
with you
cool.
because I love the citruses as well. I'll tell
Yes.
you a few of my favorites.
And bright foods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eat the
Mm-hmm.
rainbow. And this is
Eating
such a
or
wonderful
mm-hmm.
time of the year to really eat more of
Mm-hmm.
those yellows and oranges. Again,
Yeah.
energetically, if we're thinking about this, energetically, spiritually, I'm thinking a lot about yoga and the chakras in the body. And so I'm
Mm.
thinking about the yellows, the reds, those that are around that
The
solar
solar
plexus.
plexus.
Yes, and the red
Yes.
is our
Mm-hmm.
base. And ladies, I will say
Mm.
this, if there are lady, yes, there are ladies because I see them on the chat. Ladies, our root chakra work is really, really important work. It's
Mm.
really important work. And this season of, spring of, planting the seeds so that we
Mm-hmm.
can have healthy roots, but maintaining our sense of rootedness and doing
Mm-hmm.
our lower chakra work is really, really important. So
Mm-hmm.
again, our feminine cleansing practices are really super
Absolutely.
important. Our sitting
Absolutely.
on the earth. So now that the
Oh.
earth is beginning to warm up, sitting, and I'm just going to say, sitting your butt down on
Hmm.
the earth and rooting down into the earth,
Yes.
and really getting, and I'm specifically speaking about women for womb
Hmm.
health and just
Hmm.
that lower chakra,
Hmm.
rootedness and health and well-being is so absolutely important. Not
Absolutely.
able to
Yes.
sit on the ground, just because of flexibility issues,
Hmm.
then stand, but
Hmm.
there again, this rootedness, eating that red and yellow and orange side of the rainbow, those fruits and vegetables. First of
Hmm.
all, they are so rich in beta carotene. So we're talking about carrots,
Hmm.
talking about, yellow peppers,
Yep.
grapefruit, all the things
Hmm.
that fall in that category, again, energetically. A few of my really favorite scents
Yeah.
this time of year are
Uh-huh.
geranium. I love the citruses. I
Yes.
also love geranium.
Oh,
It is one
yes.
of those really beautiful.
Hmm.
I just love geranium. Period. I like, give me
Yes.
all the geranium as an
But
essential oil.
especially right now.
Yes, as
Yes.
an essential oil. One of the blends that I use
Hmm.
quite frequently is geranium and clary sage. That gives me
Mm.
a wonderful night's sleep. So I love those two together. Another one that I really like a lot is bergamot. Have you ever used bergamot?
Yes.
What do
Yes.
you what do
And
you
I
like?
really enjoy that. Even
Yeah.
tea in like tea
Yes.
form.
Yes.
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 Um, I
Can you
feel
did you
like,
know you can
and
grow
maybe,
bergamot too in this region?
yes, my
Oh.
coworker and friend Dio explained
Hmm.
that to me because she really likes it, and she's learning a lot about herbs,
Hmm.
like just herbalism as a whole, as she's
Hmm.
working towards becoming an herbalist.
Hmm.
Yay, her. Um, but no, absolutely, definitely. It
Yeah.
is such a powerful thing. And yes, in all of its forms.
Yes.
And now that I know that it can be grown, I really want to.
I have some bergamot seeds I'll share with you when we get together.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes,
I,
please.
yes, I picked them up. I don't remember where I picked them up. They weren't local.
Hmm.
I was traveling somewhere, but I saw them and I was like, oh my God, I've got to grow some bergamot. So, yeah,
Yes.
this is a wonderful time for starting the herb garden.
Hmm.
So, and herbs are so, oh my gosh, like,
Even if it's just in your living room,
even if
because if
it's
you're
just
like
in the living
myself,
room.
I don't have um, an outdoor like garden space,
Hmm.
but you can create that in your home. Truly,
Absolutely. And
with
herbs are
seed
herbs
trays.
love being in the house, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It also protects them from a lot of natural um, guys who want to nibble on their leaves and eat
Right.
up
Yeah.
all your plants. Being in your home, they're safe from that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Pests as well. It's a
Mhm.
really good time. Something else that you mentioned that I feel so strongly about in general, but as of late, is the practice of grounding and
Yes.
doing it very intentionally.
Mhm.
When we were in the airport right before, when we were waiting to go to Hawaii, they had this free library, and you could take a book and then add one, right?
Abundance.
And I picked up this book, right? Just abundance, it's everywhere. I picked up this book called Grounding, and I'm slowly working my way through it. But already, what I've learned, or how it's reaffirmed a lot of my knowledge surrounding the power that the earth holds
Yes.
and the best way to connect with her.
Hmm.
Excuse, I say her, I see earth as, yes,
Hmm.
woman, a womb, a her. But there's so much power in simply removing your socks
Hmm.
and planting your bare feet on the ground.
Hmm.
We have these plastic and rubber soles typically that we're navigating through the world every day. And of
Hmm.
course, it's important to protect your feet and such,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
this very intentional contact between our bare skin
Hmm.
and the ground, right?
Hmm.
Soil, even if there's not grass, just soil,
Just
like
soil.
dirt itself, the power and the electromagnetic like fields
Hmm.
that it
Hmm.
can really heal in
Hmm.
you if you let it and just take the time. It's amazing. And the health benefits
Yes.
regarding to like reduction in inflammation, and yes,
Absolutely.
improved clarity and
Hmm.
focus.
Hmm.
So right, the earth is calling us, right, without using hey, spend time with me. It's very much so. I'm awakening. I'm here. Spend time with me. Ground. But I definitely agree with that, even as it pertains to our like our roots and our bottom, our hip region, and our womb
Yes,
region. It's
yes,
so important to draw those connections and remove a lot of the barriers that it can exist between
mhm,
us and
mhm,
the earth. So
exactly,
even
yeah,
if it's 3 minutes,
3
walking
minutes.
barefoot on the grass,
Mhm,
dirt,
mhm,
whatever, for
mhm,
3 minutes.
mhm, mhm.
It's how we used to, that's how we used to operate.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
something and all of the elements, right? Like standing on the ground. The other thing is, and you know this as
Hmm.
is Aries like that is air, right? The element. Okay.
No, we're actually, sorry, I'm excited. I'm turning 27 in like
Ah!
20 days. 11 plus 24 days. Okay, so Aries is actually a fire sign,
Fire
but
sign.
my moon is in Scorpio, your
Okay.
sign, and that is
My
a water
sign.
sign, and I will
Yep.
definitely say it keeps me balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I
but
know.
no, it's fire.
A fire. Okay. So
Yeah,
all of the
and
elements.
the first, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
All of the elements, like this is the season where we want to really connect with each of those elements, like fire. So
Hmm.
when it's really warm outside, just be outdoors and feel the heat of that sun.
Hmm.
When it's raining, like you said, it's raining today. We're so quick to cover up. But what
Yeah.
about Earth's liquid touching
Hmm.
our skin, and
Oh.
and for those of you who are gardeners, planters, leave a couple of buckets outside. Start
Hmm.
leaving some buckets outside and collect rainwater and give that to your herbs, give that to your plants.
Yes.
Use that water. So, harvesting
Hmm.
water and rainwater preservation, these are ancient
Oh,
practices, right? So we can use that
absolutely. I love
water
that.
to, yeah, to
Hmm.
give back to our plants. And then air, that's another thing. Like,
Hmm.
I don't think we stop and think about
Hmm.
what it means to breathe this
Hmm.
air. You
This
know,
deep breathing of
yeah,
the water, the humidity that's now in the air
right,
into our bodies and
right.
breathing it out, and that flow, that exchange, thinking about these elements in your exchange with them and the role that they play.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Trees that are, they're breathing out, we're
Hmm.
breathing in. What we breathe out, they breathe in. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you, when you get in that flow and again, have
Mm.
the abundance, clear the
Yes.
space in your mind so that you
Hmm.
can be present to that and present with that.
Hmm.
And I realize what a challenge this is in today's world when there are so
Hmm.
many things coming at us, messages.
Yes.
There's so much temptation to stay informed because we're living in real time. So we really
Yeah.
want to be informed and connected.
Hmm.
And I get that. This is no judgment about what, you know, people need to do to feel safe and to
Hmm.
feel, informed and things like that.
Aware. Hmm.
Aware,
Hmm.
exactly. But I think
Hmm.
there comes a point where, rooting back down into the moment,
Hmm.
you know,
And
projecting,
the actual physical present.
yes, and all that is here for our healing. I mean,
Mm.
seriously, like when you mention earth as in the feminine, from a feminine perspective,
Hmm.
and I think about this is our home, right? Everything that we need to survive
It's right
is
here.
here.
Yeah,
It is really here.
it really is. But
It
you
doesn't
have
feel like
to
it is, but it's here.
be aware of it. You have to intentionally look for it.
Yeah.
I think too, this is a great time. William and I were on a walk yesterday, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, we have to go see the cherry blossoms in DC." It's about that time. Things are slowly emerging. They're coming about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And reflecting all of this kind of like dormancy and hard work and preparation and pause, though, that they've done over the winter months. Everything's emerging, and so are we.
Yeah.
And we do ourselves a disservice to not be aware of those things and align ourselves with what all the intention behind the season
Yeah.
really
I
has for us.
I agree. And
Hmm.
yeah, cherry blossom festival is one of my favorite things. I always pray that it doesn't
Abundance.
rain too hard because I like to see the blossoms and things. I wanted to say something about the trees too,
Hmm.
that I find fascinating just from a biological, chemical,
Yes,
method.
please.
So in the fall,
Hmm.
when trees are starting to lose their leaf, well, before they lose the leaves, when they
Uh-huh.
turn those different colors, do you
Yes.
know what that's all about? Why do they turn
I
those turn
I
colors?
think it's a transition phase, and it's all about a on a cellular level,
Mhm.
the like how they're storing energy.
Exactly.
They're
Isn't that
transferring
fascinating?
their sugars. Yes,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. I actually was just this is a great podcast. This one, but another one. Um, what is it called? Ologies by Ali Ward. There is a it's on dendro, dendrotology, which is the study of trees. And there's an excellent scientist. I remember his first name, Casey, but I don't remember his last name right now. But
Okay.
he studies trees for a living. And this is literally what he was discussing. They're so smart
They are so
that
smart.
I get worried about the trees during the winter,
Yeah.
right? Naturally. Well, before being feeling more educated about them, but you're like, oh my gosh, how are they still here and living? And they come back in the spring and summer like nothing ever happened.
Hmm.
They're very present, but they understand the importance of seasons.
Yes.
And they're storing those sugars in the fall
Yep.
to prepare for this winter pause
Hmm.
and preparation, all to reignite this process all over again. But they've done this for hundreds and hundreds of years. They've beautiful, even behind you, like I like your artwork on the wall, but
Thank
they
you.
have these beautiful interconnected systems that I think we can even learn a lot from. This is
Yes.
something very cool. Just as we can see ourselves as a part of a community, absolutely, and kind of reaching to our friends when we need assistance or help or affirmation or support. Trees do that same exact thing.
Yes, they
So
do.
if there is a tree that is sick, they are transferring different nutrients to that tree in X area
Mhm.
and supporting it the
Mhm.
best that it can.
Yes.
This like sharing. And you were discussing earlier, you mentioned like community, abundance in so many ways, but community. And
Yes.
I find myself there as well.
Hmm.
That like, let me reach out instead of running by myself. Let me run with my friend Haley. Let me the things that seem hard when you do it in community, right? When we lean on each other,
Hmm.
it's not as hard.
Exactly.
And I think we can learn so much from the trees.
Can't we? I mean, just what you just said
So
about
much.
sharing nutrients, right?
Hmm.
And from a place of abundance, just going back to my friend with her her mom, well, who her mom's my friend, with
Hmm.
her
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Hmm.
Last year I had so many tomatoes. I mean, more than I could possibly.
That
I
you grew yourself or from her that she
Oh
gifted
no,
to you?
my tomatoes.
Your tomatoes, yes.
So
Okay.
when she was speaking today about starting her tomatoes, I was thinking she is going to have so many tomatoes because she's going to have a variety and things like this. And she's going to do some things differently. But I'm just saying, like that abundance, that ability to
Hmm.
freeze my tomatoes that I had, and then
Hmm.
I had to give away tomatoes, basil. I had
I'll take some.
so much basil. I mean,
Hmm.
I have like bags
And
of
there's
basil.
only so much you can use. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
also,
And this is why you have community. Hmm.
right, this is why you have community. I even have bay leaf growing. I'm gonna have to give away some bay leaf because I have so much bay leaf growing, you know. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, I love this concept of, just coming back to center, as
Hmm.
we get closer to our top of the hour, coming back to the center and just knowing that abundance is many things. We live in a world where we think of it financially more so than we think about the abundance of the things that we have,
Right now.
creating abundance of time, creating abundance of space, creating
Hmm.
abundance of community, creating
Hmm.
abundance of knowledge, of
Yes.
now learning new things and not being
Hmm.
perfect at it. One of the ladies who I saw is on tonight.
Uh-huh.
Follow each other on social media. And she
Mm-hmm.
knows who she is. I'm not going to call her out.
Okay. Well, I
She
waved at her.
mentioned, yeah, she mentioned something about she's a wonderful writer, a beautiful writer, and you
Mm.
know who you are. She mentioned wanting to get
Mhm.
going with her YouTube channel and
Okay.
podcast and overcoming like the perfectionism and things like this. And I
Mm.
want to say to you directly, this is your season, right? You know who you are. And I want to say to everyone here, this is your season. This is truly your season to plant the intention and the desires of your heart
Mm.
to really, take a lesson from nature that is so imperfectly perfect,
Yes.
right? In nature,
Mm-hmm.
everything just sort of grows where it grows, right? There's no clean lines, there's no,
Mm-hmm.
square spaces. Vines grow over here, limbs grow over there, flowers grow, weeds are there,
And they're still beautiful.
and they're still beautiful.
Even if there are a couple of dead leaves, that serves purpose too.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
This is the
beautiful.
season to be perfectly imperfect,
Mm-hmm.
to plant your intentions, your desires, the things you've always wanted to do, create the abundance of joy of
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you've done something you always wanted to do. That too is abundance.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Happiness.
And that increases your confidence to know that you really can do anything. There, I remember the first time we did a podcast together, and I must admit, I was extremely anxious. Um, but now I feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
right? It's this kind of playing, psyching yourself out in a bit where if there's something in your head that you think that you cannot do, I challenge you to do it anyway and see how you feel 3 or 4 times into it. You'll be like, wow,
Look at me.
I that's a you can add that into your repertoire of skills now. But you
Right.
have to take that leap. And lately, I've really been living in this theme of in my head, I remind myself often that it really is up to me. And I was writing that for the first time in my life, I am so happy that it's all up to me. Like I'm not upset about that. I know, and I'm not anxious about it because I know that the tools and the practices and the rituals and all these habits I've cultivated are everything's going to work out. Even if it's a little scary, right? Anything new is supposed to feel that way because it's
Yes.
discomfort. It's not normal, right?
Yep.
But you have to take that leap. And I know that you will, whoever we're speaking to. I know that you will. And
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah.
so proud of yourself literally in 1 month or even instant gratification that same day. You'll be like,
Yeah.
wow,
Wow.
I
Look
did
at
that
this.
thing
I did
I
it.
feared for so long.
Yeah. I did
And
it.
through that, through taking those leaps, that's where we really develop our like knowing of self and defining what that looks like. But
Mhm.
right, you get to redefine that every day,
Every
and how
day.
you treat people and what you eat and what you choose to consume,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
it's all up to you, and it's a really good thing, right?
It's a
Because
good
you're
thing.
great.
Yeah.
You're
And
great.
and like you said, we get to renew every single day. We get
Hmm.
to realign. I'm gonna take us out with a 751. I want to see if
Oh, you're
anyone has
fine.
any questions. Are we good? Any
Yeah.
questions? Let's see. Oh, yes. Happy birthday. We got a wish for you from Carissa for happy birthday. The
Oh,
751.
I'm gonna call my grandpa right after this and
Yeah,
share that with him.
good.
He is so cool.
Yeah.
I will let him know.
Tuck your questions into the comments, folks, if you've got questions for us. And I want to share this, um, that something that sort of goes along with what you're saying. This is on my
Hmm.
blog from
Okay.
Mindset Mastery that was in the newsletter on March 3rd. It is
Mm-hmm.
realignment.
Mm-hmm.
Realignment. The biggest changes we see in our lives are rooted in the smallest habits. They're how we spend the first
Mm-hmm.
hour of our mornings. They're how we nourish our bodies through food. They're how we speak to
Mm-hmm.
ourselves when no one is around. They're in the films we watch, the music we listen to, the content we consume. They're
Mm.
the people we give ourselves access to, the way we move our bodies, where and how we spend our money. When we shift the little intricacies of our lives, when we reconsider how we leverage our personal doings with the outer world,
Mm.
we will notice grand shifts that will realign us on our paths to greatness.
Wow. You wrote that?
No, no, this is on my blog. This is a quote that I wrote about in my on my blog because it resonated
That was
so.
so beautiful and packed
Yeah,
and details and really cause us to think about all the little things and
put
what they
those up
amount
in
to.
the comments.
This huge, oh my gosh, a great one.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
please send that to me personally. I need that.
yeah, I
But
will.
oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
That was
it's on the
beautiful. We
blog.
are a sum of our daily habits and how we choose to treat ourselves and treat other people. There is a, oh, that's so beautiful. I
I
love
thought
that.
it was such a beautiful quote, and I'm just going to drop this in the chat here for folks who would like to read it. It just reminds me of everything that you just said, Mariah, that it's up to me. You know,
Hmm.
I posted those journal questions I'm just going to post this in the chat here just so folks can have it. I posted those journal questions, and at
Hmm.
the end of the day,
I love those journal
as you
questions,
said,
by the way.
thank you. Um,
I'm looking at them right now
it
because I
is
wanted to highlight one,
okay.
my
It's up
favorite
to
one.
me. I want to hear what your favorite one is. But
Hmm.
it's up to us to get realigned. It's
Hmm.
up to us. And, you know, spring equinox
Yep.
is one day, you know, in terms of
Hmm.
on the calendar, but
Yes.
we can have our own spring equinox every day, theoretically. You
What
know,
a magical thing. I
what a
love the way you
magical
just said that. What a magical thing.
We can get realigned every single day.
Hmm.
I'll tell you one of
Hmm.
the most important realignments that I'm doing,
Hmm.
aside from my spring cleaning,
Uh-huh.
is, you know, just rethinking my consumption and how I'm spending my time.
Hmm.
You know, it's very easy to get sucked into conversations, sucked into social media, and I have so much work to do. Not that I'm busy, it's not busy work.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
work, foundational work that I want to be here when I'm not gone, which is my YouTube videos, my
Mm.
writing, my poetry. I have
Wow.
books I need to write. I cannot afford this loss of time on social media. So that's one of the realignment things that I'm tuning into is Angel, you really, you know,
It's time to focus your energy there.
you gotta
Oh,
focus
I can't
your energy.
wait.
Yeah, you
I'll
gotta
be here for the entire journey. Oh my gosh, that's going to be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. Because
I'm
no
proud
one,
of you.
thank you. Because think about
Hmm.
it, no one's gonna go back and look for my tweets. They're not gonna go back and look for my threads. They will go to a
No.
bookshelf and find my books. They will
Okay.
go and see my
Hmm.
videos. They will see
Yep.
my writings on my blog. But
Hmm.
no one's gonna remember that tweet. Well, I'm not on Twitter, but or that post that went viral.
Yeah.
That's not, no one's going to remember that. So, how
Yeah.
do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered for all of the
Hmm.
things that I teach and talk about here and, you know, in my little corner of the world on my blog and in my
Yeah.
videos.
But your work extends far past that little corner.
Thank you.
I hope you know.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Um,
Share with me
my
your favorite.
favorites, well, okay, they're all so good, guys, and I call you to go check them out. But the theme of all of this at the bottom of each of Angel's um, journal prompt says abundance. And right, I think these questions are all about how can we cultivate that. So one of my favorite ones was how can I be more intentional with my time and energy and making choices that support my long term mental clarity, joy, and rest. I think when you hear those words together, clarity, joy, and rest, you can think of them like, yes, they're separate entities, but they all sort of rely on each other and create an interconnected balance that is very necessary. So thinking about, I know our whole conversation has been about intention, like being intentional with our time and our energy, but where do you want in this season to shift your focus? If
Yes.
that is healing, spend time there. You will find rest, joy, and so much clarity as you work through that. Think of a sort of an angle, a direction, an area of yourself, whether, right, that's your heart chakra, whether that's your movement, whether that's whatever, many different ones, shifting your energy and focus to cultivate a life of balance and clarity and joy and excitement, but also rest, right? There are many dualities, different things going on, with spring equinox being, yes, the mark of we have just as much sun as we do night. How powerful is that?
How
What can we
powerful.
learn from that
Yeah.
in within,
Yep.
right? So I just loved that question. I loved all of them, but
Thank
I
you.
loved that question because
Thank you.
long term mental clarity,
Yes.
that is the goal. I don't want to just feel in tune and clear after meditating for
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
sure, but how, what
Mm-hmm.
are these practices, these investments in ourselves that we can make that we'll never forget, and they exist with us wherever we are?
Yep.
I love
Exactly.
that question.
How do I take that with me wherever I go? How do I
Mm-hmm.
take that with me to whatever circumstance I find myself in? How do I
Yep.
take that with me even on days that I am not like 100% and the world is feeling like it's unsteady? How do I bring that with me? And that's what that long term is all about. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to be respectful of your time, Mariah, especially as granddad's birthday. If anyone here who
Yeah.
really wants, like, if you want those journal prompts that Mariah and I are talking about, it's just right
Mm-hmm.
on my Instagram channel. But I'm happy to send it to you in a little PDF. And here's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing: if you're watching this and you want like a spring, so, just some of the things that Mariah and I were talking about in terms of spring cleansing, like what are the ideal fruits and veggies I should be eating, or some
Mm-hmm.
of the essential oils for healing, or just my personal little recipe for spring wellness. I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
to send that over to you as well. So just do me a favor and leave a comment in the chat here. For those of who are watching it after the fact, after we sign off for tonight, leave a comment, or just hop on over to the website and send it to me in my contact form. I am
Mm-hmm.
so super happy to share those resources with you during this time of spring renewal. So, many
Yes.
ways to get in contact with me. To do that, just pop it in the comments
Mm-hmm.
or connect with me on Instagram or Mariah and say,
Yes.
"Hey, Mariah,
Same
she,
here.
she mentioned such and such."
Yep.
We're back here every third Thursday. Spread the word. We love having this
Mm-hmm.
conversation. We're all about just sharing our knowledge, and we want to learn from you as well. It's about
Yes.
building that beloved
Mm-hmm.
community that we want to live in, and we know that it's up to us.
Absolutely. Yep. Yes, it is.
It's up to
And it
us,
feels great.
and it
It
feels
feels
great.
great. Happy spring, everyone. Thank you
Happy
so much for
spring.
being here and taking the time. And even if it's you're watching afterwards, just thank you for taking the time. And if there's anything too that you would like us to discuss for our next third Thursday, that'll be April, let's see, April 17th. Feel free to let us know what you have questions about or would like to hear.
Yep, please do. I was responding to a couple of questions. Tamara said
Yeah.
abundance. Number
Mhm.
5 spoke to me, so I want to look at number 5.
Let's see.
And are the
Of the
journal
journal
prompts on your
prompt,
blog?
correct?
Yes, journal prompts are there.
One,
Absolutely.
two,
Yes.
three, four, five.
Lynette said happy
Oh,
spring. Yeah. Which one?
do you know which one? May I read it?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry.
What if,
Wait a minute. Yeah.
what if, what if I stopped glorifying
Oh my God.
busyness
Yes.
as a proof of purpose and started honoring rest, pleasure, and well being as vital parts of a meaningful life? I'm accentuating certain, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to pick one prompt, You
Yeah.
could spend a long time on each of these, but
Yeah.
we live in a capitalistic society that we are focused on working from 9 to 5 p.m. And we have to do this with this friend because we said we were going to. And we have to go here because, oh, I can't miss that event. And we have to do
Yep.
rest.
Yep.
And taking
Time.
that time to realign yourself is
Yep.
more important than anything. And I love that you use the word vital.
Yeah.
Like it is essential. It is important in the equation of living a very meaningful life. I love that one. So great job for pointing that out.
Yes. Thank
I
you,
love it.
Tamara, for sharing that. That was yours.
Hmm.
Yes, and I did share the link to those journal prompts. And
Hmm.
I saw that there is a request for that spring renewal, my recipe for spring renewal. So
Uh-huh.
I will definitely post that and share
Great.
that link as well. Yes, that one I wrote for myself
Hmm.
about busyness. And someone asked to get together with me and said, Angel, I know you're busy. And I said, I'm not busy anymore. I'm not busy.
I don't even, oh my gosh,
I
thank
don't
you. I love that. Let's
use
just
I am not
delete the
busy.
word
Yeah, let's like delete that
in
word
our own
in our
vocabulary.
own
Okay,
vocabulary.
there we
I'm
go.
not
It's
busy.
official.
Yeah, it's official. I
I
am
hate
not
that word.
busy. I am making intentional choices
For the
about
people and things that I love.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. For my time, energy,
Hmm.
attention, and
Hmm.
focus.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. All right. Thank you so much, Mariah. Thank you so much for just making this journey with me. Truly. Thank you to everyone who joined in with us tonight. Replay will be here on YouTube so you can watch it over
Yeah.
and over and over again. And we'll see you third Thursday next month again here for Soil, Soul, and Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me see if I've got my end session. Let's see. Stop. There we go. Yep.
Go on.
Yay! We're done.
Yay!